Welcome everyone to the Boxing Breakdown podcast with me and my co-host Joe. Another episode. We've made it to episode 2 this time. Let's hope it's a little bit easier than the first one. But yeah, let's just find out. So, first of all, we're going to recap what we spoke about last week, talk about the results and all that, and then move on to the future. We've got a little Q&A, only a few questions, and then the fights which are happening this weekend. So yeah, let's get straight into it. First of all, Joe, we've got the Furio versus Ryan and Charlton. What was your thoughts on that fight?
For me, I thought Marco done a good job actually. I mean, the shit house at the end when he caught the towel and all.
I know.
But yeah, I thought Marco done a good job. He backed up what he was saying, really, didn't he? The only negative you could say it was performed as he hit the canvas, but for me it looked more like not a trip. It was a punch. It was a knockdown, but I think it was more of a flash knockdown. I think he got his footing wrong a bit. But yeah, overall, I thought Marco boxed really well. I thought Charlton, he was a bit predictable, if I'm totally honest.
Couldn't agree more. Very good analysis. Yeah, I think Furio was really stuck behind that stiff jab, which kept pushing Ryan and Charlton back. When Charlton did get on the inside, he made it difficult for him. I just think Marco was a level above.
Yeah. Would you say stoppage came at the correct time?
Yes. He was out on his feet any longer, and he would have seriously got injured, and it was for the best.
Yeah.
But I couldn't say a better time to throw the towel in.
I mean, for me, apart from the knockdown, I didn't really think at any point in that fight, apart from when he knocked him down and a little bit after, I didn't really think Charlton was going to get anything out of it, to be honest, anyway.
Exactly, it was a flash knockdown. He did get his feet wrong, and I felt like he never really capitalised on it either. But
yeah, I thought that.
Overall, Marco boxed really, really well. He's a real showman. He loves talking to him in the ring. I find him really entertaining.
That made me. He was so comfortable in there, weren't he?
Yeah, he's probably too comfortable, but he knew it was an easy night's work, and he made it an easy night's work. So fair enough. He talked the talk and he walked the walk. Anyway, next up, we've got the main event. We've got the David Avenation versus Josh Kelly. Joe, your thoughts, please.
For me, I thought Kelly actually, I was surprised when he did box early on. But, I mean, it doesn't matter how you box in the first 3 rounds, doesn't it, if you got the gas after 4. I thought I did have him winning the early rounds probably, but it just caught up on him, didn't it?
Exactly. As we said, I thought that Kelly would start fast. He was very sharp, as I thought. I thought it would be the first 6. He was smart, being a bit slick, being a bit cocky, boxing Avenation off. But it only lasted for 3-4 rounds, and then he gassed. There's got to be something there. There's got to be a reason. Is he training hard enough? Does he need to move up a weight?
Maybe did he overtrain and all?
Yeah, maybe is he just a bit too big for that weight? We don't know. But first 3-4 rounds, he looked absolutely brilliant. His jab was on point. He wasn't missing. He was catching him with some nice uppercuts. At one point, he nearly had him down in was it to the end of the second or the third? But Avenation was nearly on the floor, but he just couldn't. I felt like he didn't have that killer instinct to get the fight finished, like a seasoned pro like Avenation did. Anyway, we get to the 4th, the 5th, then Avenation just starts taking over, and he gets the stoppage. Was it in the 6th or the 7th he got the stoppage?
Me, I can't remember.
Neither can I, but it was in the middle rounds. So overall, it was a very good fight, I felt, and I did enjoy.
Stopping at the correct time.
Again, stoppage at the correct time. He did throw the towel in at the right point for me.
At first, I did question if it was stopped maybe a little early, but I don't think it was again.
I think it was all for the fighter's safety, and we don't want to see anyone get serious.
Yeah, and I mean, for Josh Kelly, it was, like you said last week, it was the risk was an award factor, if you like. All learning curve for him, and he didn't need to take the damage, did he?
No, exactly. He took the loss and he moved from it. I think he did show a bit of promise, but he needs to seriously sort his engine out or move up a weight, because I think he's just a bit too big for that weight, and I think he might be struggling. So, anyway, great fight. I hope you should all watch it and enjoy. Next up.
Hang on, can you hear my dog?
No, I cannot hear your dog. Do not.
Oh my God, he's batting his head off down there.
That's okay. Right, we've got the Q&A section here. Would we rather see...
Are we speaking about Wallen?
Oh, yeah, actually.
Well, I mean, we got right, didn't we?
We did get that right.
I was on the fence between a decision and a late stoppage. It was a decision.
Very correct. Yeah. I almost forgot about Otto Wallen. Great performance. He boxed really well, but I felt Breezer was really slow and sluggish. And to be honest,
we said before Breezer was slow.
Yeah, but I didn't think he'd be that slow. He was getting beaten for the jab constantly. Wallen started throwing the backhand. Wallen did a really good performance on a really, really out of it fighter. He wasn't ready. You could see the ring rust. He started slow and he finished slow. He just wasn't there for it, was he? He just came there, take a few punches, get his money and get out. That's how I felt.
Where do you think that leaves Otto Wallen now?
I think he's got to be going for the people who we will be talking about in this episode.
Yeah.
Up in them top 15 brackets, someone like an Andy Ruiz, that would be a good fight. Now, everyone rates Ruiz, but, it could be a win.
I think that's a good fight for Ruiz as well, because to speak of Wilder again, and Parker maybe would be a good, the rematch. But for me, I think Ruiz has been out for a long time now.
Yeah, he's been out since...
A year and a bit.
He fought early 2020, was it? Late 2019?
No, December 1st, I think it was.
So it was back in 2019. It was a long time ago. He's been
he could do with a fight like Wallen, because that will be the fight. It'd be a good fight. I think it'd sell a few tickets. Could go either way, but
yeah, I think that's a really good fight. And just Wallen needs to keep active as he does, and he's a decent fighter, and I think he will get his Fury chance.
You just need to keep grinding away there, getting them W's and. Working towards getting bigger and better shots.
Or even someone like a Huey Fury or something.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Someone who's not at the top level and loses to the top 10.
I mean, after the performance against the other Fury, you won't be surprised if you give him a good bout.
Exactly. So that'll be a really interesting one. Anyway, we'll get on to the Q&A. Would we rather see Wilder Fury 3 after the Fury AJ fight, or AJ versus Wilder? Your thoughts?
For me, it's good. I don't see any way you can say Fury Wilder 3, because look, Wilder's got that big equalizer, he's got that big shot. You can't write Wilder off any fight. We know Wilder could cause serious damage to anyone with that right hand. But we've seen Fury. We want to see the AJ fight, because don't forget. If that Fury fight didn't happen, Wilder would be seen as arguably the best, or the second best, or the third best in the world. He's still a really good fighter, and I think there was so much talk about Fury, about Wilder AJ, and I think that's almost been brushed over. But we still haven't seen who would win Wilder or AJ. We've seen Fury beat Wilder, but we don't know if Fury is better than AJ or not yet. I think for me, it's got to be Wilder AJ, and you definitely cannot write Deontay Wilder off that fight.
Right, for me, it's got to be. I've got to agree with you there, Joe. But hear me out, right? By the time the AJ Fury fights happen, if Wilder doesn't stay active, right? He hasn't fought since a year.
Is this after the first Fury AJs, or is it after, if they're meant to have 3 bouts, is it after the third or the second?
I don't have a clue, but
we'll say after the first.
Maybe we'll never see it, to be honest, because you got to remember, Wilder's 35, 36.
Yeah. He
hasn't got that much left.
For me, that fight is going to be, regardless, if Joshua goes on to beat Fury twice and unifies the division and stuff, and is seen as the best of this era, that is still the fight, in my opinion. That slipped away, and we never got to see a prime Wilder versus prime AJ.
Exactly. I felt like that should have happened before Fury came back. But anyway, thank you for that question. Next one is, will we see Josh Warrington win his title back? Thoughts?
For me, yes.
Any reason?
Well, yeah. Well, actually, I wouldn't say it's like, I sounded dead confident there. I wouldn't say it's that. Lara is a good fighter. He's a powerful fighter. But for me, I just think with the Leeds crowd, if it's in the summertime, Leeds crowd back, I think we would see Josh Warrington go in and put a good boxing performance on, use his boxing brain and that. But not like you say, you haven't said it, but what you never know, do you? You never know, especially when Lara's got that power, and especially once you beat once. Once you've been beat once, who knows how many times you can get beat. But I'd tip towards Warrington would win the rematch, yes. But even still, if Warrington did lose the rematch and he got another shot, you don't know, do you? But I do think we'll see Warrington with a title again at some point.
For me, I don't think he'll beat him. I think the Lara rematch is a complete... God.
Do you think it's a bogeyman?
I think it's a wrong fight for him. I think, although he's quick, and even though the lead crowd can help you, they can't get in the ring for you.
Yeah, that is a good point again.
Now, I think Lara's just a little bit too... He's flat-footed, yes, but Warrington isn't fast. He's fast, but he's not fast enough to stay away from Lara for 12 rounds. And with that power, if Lara can catch him in the first 4, my money would definitely be on Lara. I think it's not the right match for him, but I think people can beat Lara who Warrington can beat. So let's just see. But I think that's a cracking rematch, and I do look forward to watching it. But next one, what is your opinion on Conor Benjo?
I think he's a good fighter.
Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, he's a very good fighter and a good talent, isn't he? 17-0, he's got the Vargas fight coming up.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk about him, Kelly, Marku. It's a good fight for me. Marku actually did call him a coward, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't think you can call someone who's 17, nearly 18-0, if he does win, a coward.
Yeah, who would you back to win that one?
Oh, I think he's a class above Marku, but him and Kelly, I think Kelly would start better, but I think Ben, again, he'll take him to the 8th, 9th round and smash him. Knock him out.
Yes.
And do you know what I really did like? And I know it sounds horrible, but do you know how Adam Booth was so confident going up to that fight, and then you just see him chuck the towel in, and it just made me a bit happy because I felt he was a bit too overconfident in his fighter. And I know you've got to back your fighter, but I remember watching him the week before and Sky and him like, oh yeah, well I'm not going to give anything away, but I'm so confident. I've never felt so confident. He beat him and he had to throw the towel in, and I found that so satisfying to watch. But I think Conor Ben's a good talent, and if he can beat Vargas, then why not give him a chance at Kelly? And then if he can beat Kelly, someone like Avenation. So you never know. Next up, we have. What is our thoughts on boxers like Canelo fighting lower quality opponents like Yildoran? I think that's how you pronounce his name. What's your thoughts, Joe, on that?
For me, it all depends on when and the occasion. I think it's a weird one, that, because I like to see the big fights, but at the same time, you do need to give them opponents the opportunities. But for me, like, I'm not sure about it, to be honest. I like to see the best fight the best. I don't know. For me, I'm not trying to avoid the question, and generally, I'm in two minds about it. For me, if you haven't fought for a while, then to knock the ring rust off, I wouldn't mind you getting in the ring with someone like that. But he fought recently. I'd like to see him get in there with someone good. I know there's no crowd, but we still want to see some cracking fights. And it all depends on how low the quality is. Yeah, I think Yildirim's alright. I can't write him off yet. If he goes and beats Canelo, then we look like absolute idiots and no one will ever tune in again. And I wouldn't blame them. But I mean, yeah, I don't think he's going to. But I think he could have fought someone. And it all depends what law, because if you class someone like, not about Canelo, I'm just trying to think of an example. If you class someone like, if Tyson Fury went to fight someone like Joseph Parker before the Joshua fight, as long as it's not going to take a year, delay and stuff, I'm more than happy to see stuff like that. Exactly, I don't mind you fighting low quality fighters to knock the ring rust off, because I think ring rust is a serious issue. But I do think there's a point where you need to start fighting the best. Exactly. Right. And then for me, if you don't want to fight the best, you can't be seen as the best. Exactly. That's how it is for me. And I think if Fury was to go and beat Joshua, it'd be a bigger thing than Joshua beating Fury. Not because Fury's unbeaten, because Fury's beat Deontay Wilder as well. Joshua beat White, but for me, I think Wilder possibly takes White. I think Wilder beats almost all of Joshua's opponents. I do. I can't see one of his opponents who... Ruiz is quite fast, gets on the inside. I think Ruiz could cause Wilder problems. I'm not saying beat him, but I think it caused some problems, but... I mean, Ruiz caused Joshua problems. Exactly, so for me, it's an interesting one. But next up... So maybe Klitschko Wilder. Yeah, but
Also,
An
Fury
old
did beat
Klitschko, you
Klitschko.
can't forget
And
though.
also, Fury did beat Klitschko as well, so they
Yes.
did beat Klitschko. But thank you for that question, Jack. And you've got us another one in here today. Loma versus Lopez rematch. Would we like to see that? And thoughts on the first fight? You go first, Joe.
I'd like to see the rematch. Straight away.
Thoughts on the first fight?
I haven't seen it.
Have you not?
No.
I have. If you like your boxing, you like it. I think Loma just was a bit slow. Like he was trying to work him out, like he does with every opponent. And I think
Yeah,
he really
I've seen a lot of Loma. I haven't seen that fight though.
I've seen a lot of Loma. I like him, and I think he does, as you say, collect data. But I think he did it for a bit too long. I think he did it too late. Started too late into the fight, and couldn't quite get into it as much. But I think the rematch he could start faster because he knows a bit more about him. But anyway, good question. We don't spend too long because we don't make this too long. Our opinions.
Sorry for a good answer, guys.
It's okay. It's okay. You can watch it at one point and then come back to us. Opinions on Josh Kelly after that loss. I think he's still got a bright future. I'd still like to see him fight Conor Ben, and I do hope him all the best for the future. Joe?
Josh Kelly, I think. I don't know, you know. I think boxing ability, he could go far, very far, but he needs to sort that engine out.
I think I wouldn't mind seeing him in super welterweight, to be honest.
Yeah, I think he needs to. I think he'll look out like himself, and he'll have to come up. I think every boxer on the lose, they need a reason for it.
Is it super welterweight or is it light middle?
Don't know.
I'm not sure from welter, but anyway.
Not sure about that. But yeah, for me, I think every time a boxer loses, they need to look at it. They need to find reasons for it, and I think he'll be looking the best he can. His coaches, his team, be looking the best they can to find why he gassed so early. Was it just he was getting caught more than we think? I don't know. I think they'll have to.
I think he started a bit too fast, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I thought he got. I wouldn't say a bit comfortable in there, and I thought at times he was using a bit pointless energy.
Yeah, there is a super welterweight. I'm sorry for messing up. There is a super welterweight and there is a there's a super welter and a light middle. So up to super welter for me.
Yes.
So anyway, we'll get on to the next topic, which is Sam Noakes versus Delmar Thomas, or Delmar Thomas versus Sam Noakes. 4-0 versus 5-0. It's going to be on the Frank Warren card. It's a decent card.
Can't say I know too much about them too.
Neither can I, but it's just boxing.
I'll watch it.
Boxing. We will be watching it. Sam Noakes, not heard too much about him, to be honest, and I don't lie when I speak. And the other lad, I'm just going to go, I don't know enough. I can't say I know enough. Before I say, do all your research. We do this off the cuff because it's all about, we want your opinion. You can do your research if you want.
Yes.
I'm going to back.
I mean, with the faff when we get to actually record one of these, the research is the last thing on my mind.
To get this out, I'm going to go Delmar Thomas.
I'm going to go, I may as well do eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Go on, which one are you going for? Sam Noakes or Delmar Thomas?
I'll go Noakes.
Alright, fair enough. Next up, we've got a big fight. We've got the ranked number 11 British middleweight, ranked number 11 in Britain, versus Ryan Oliver. We've got Nathan Haney versus Ryan Oliver. Thoughts, Joe? I think this will be an absolute cracker. Go on.
Love Haney, mate. I think he's real humble. He's a real like proper Stoke, and he does a lot for his local businesses and that, and does a lot for his club Stoke. I always like when I see a boxer do it like that.
Like a proper person, you feel like you can get along with them a bit more.
Yeah, and he fights for the pride of his club and that, which is obviously good to see. For me, this guy's fighting is
7-2.
He's not got a bad record. He's got more wins than losses.
Exactly.
Some of the people he lost to are not great, but I think it's a good fight for Heaney. It's a bigger fight for Heaney than you think. It's his pro fight under Frank Warren. Big card, I'd say, BT Sport.
Yeah.
He's going to be fighting in the same venue of, for instance, John Fury is going to be in. I think it's a good fight for Heaney, and I think we're going to see Heaney win. I think we'll see it late, but I think we're going to see Heaney win.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think it'll be a late stoppage or even on points. But for me, I think Heaney's just a class above, and I think he honestly can go quite far in that middleweight division. If he keeps ticking over.
Talking point for that is, how will Heaney be without the Stoke crowd? Like you said earlier, very important point. The fans can't fight for you, but
they can
help. Do make a hell of a difference.
Mm-hmm. For me, I think he's still got a bit too much quality for him. And I think he is. I think he is a good fighter, and I think he can go quite far. But it's good for him to be on Frank Warren, and we will be watching that very closely for certain reasons. Anyway,
cheering Heaney on, definitely.
Yeah, sorry Ryan, but come on, I really do like Heaney, and I do think he can go quite far. Next up, we've got Tommy Fury versus. We don't know yet. He hasn't.
Tommy Fury versus not a clickable, a binman, sorry.
Sorry, but we don't know his
opponent. Prediction, I'm going to go Tommy Fury win.
I think Fury will beat him. I'm sorry,
I think it's a really good fight. I think he's got a really good opponent, and it's going to be a really good, evenly matched fight.
Yeah, I think it'll be an absolute cracker.
I watched Fury last time. Was it November he fought?
I think it was November or October.
Yeah. November, I think. I don't know. I don't care.
Not a clue. But I remember isn't he
for
like
me,
4-0?
I mean, Fury. Like I said last week, I think Tommy Fury has looked good. I thought he's looked pretty good technically, but like we say, the opponents he's beat him with
aren't quite at the level he should be at. But it's
Conor could be. Let's be honest.
They're ticking over, okay? He's ticking them over, and he's keeping going, and he's keeping off the ring rust.
I mean, for me, this is a really important part of Tommy Fury's career, because boxing for me, it's, especially nowadays, there's so much unbeaten fighters coming up. One loss early in his career can make a big difference, and it's fights like this that, whether the opponents are hard or not, it's about just getting that win and climbing your way up the ranks.
Exactly, and I do think he'll beat him. I don't know who it is yet, but
I do like Tommy Fury.
I do,
not
and I think he's got
necessarily as a
character.
boxer. I just like him as.
Before you ask, no, I did not watch Love Island. No.
I didn't watch it, but like I've seen him on Instagram and that, it seems quite good.
He seems like a sound lad. His transformation's looking good. He's looking fighting fit shape. So
I think a point that a lot of people bring with Fury is his head in it. With all the Love Island stuff and that. But I mean, like, it's hard to say because we don't know John Fury. We know obviously what his persona is, if you like, or what he's made out to be. Probably is like that in real life. We can't say, but from what we know of John Fury, I don't think he's the type of person who.
I don't think he'll let his son's head drop out of it.
Yeah, I don't think he'd let him half-arse it.
Exactly, and that's why I do think Fury will win whoever his opponent is.
I hope he looks convincing again, because he has looked convincing, but he can only beat what's in front of him. But
exactly, and if he can if he can build his record up, become like 9-0, 10-0, then start fighting even better opponents, then I haven't got a problem with that.
We've got to. Is it normal for fights not to be announced who is fighting?
No, not really. Not
going to be one of them things?
Mate.
Is it going to be one of them things at the weigh-in they're just going to find someone and add him in?
I know, it's very weird for it to be top bill. I think someone like Nathan Haney could be better as a top biller, to be honest. That's just my opinion.
But I mean, the name Fury drags people in, doesn't it?
Exactly. So, next up, we've got Daniel Scardina, who is 18-0 versus Cesar Nunes.
Don't know much about either of them.
No, neither. It's on there Friday night. Before you say it, do your research, do this. Listen, we just want to talk about the boxing.
I mean, it's alright doing your research until you forget it all.
Exactly. So, I'll do a little bit of research for you all now. Daniel Scardina. Right, check out his Wikipedia, because everyone knows what happens on BoxRec. He hasn't fought since the 25th of October, 2019.
So quite inactive then?
He's been quite inactive, yeah. And his opponent, you will get really annoyed with this, but we're just here for a laugh, and if you're this far through, I don't.
Like we said, we're just talking shit.
Yeah, no one comes here for an actual boxing opinion, and if you do,
elusive 2.0 for him.
Exactly. So Cesar Nunes, he is 35-year-old, 17-2-1. he's fighting Daniel Scardina. He hasn't fought he fought on the 29th of the 2nd, 2020. So he's been active 4 months before then, if you know what I mean. He's fought 4 months, then Bobby. He has 4 months less ring rust is the word I'm trying to come up with. He lost to Edgar Berlanga and Vincent I can't pronounce the name. I'm just going to butcher it, so let's just shut up. I think Daniel Scardina is going to win and go 19-0. Thoughts, Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone. We just don't know enough, but we will be tuning in and learn a bit about it. Next.
Yeah. I mean, there's a million boxes these days. You can't know everyone.
Exactly. We did.
Unless you're Frank and Eddie.
Exactly. We did put it on because some people will be watching it with the zone. Next up, we've got the big fight of the weekend. We've got the pound for pound best, in my opinion.
Which big fight? There's two pretty big names.
The pound for pound best, that should give you the away.
Yes.
Saul Alvarez Canelo versus Yildoran.
I think, for me, it's good to see Canelo fight again. Was it December he fought?
I think it was December. He's definitely not getting the ring rust.
Yeah, I like to see fighters just fight and fight and fight and fight. I mean, I understand why they're doing, obviously, but I just love it when a fighter just fight.
Doesn't stop. It's just constant. It is.
Yeah. It's another fight. I mean, not the best opponent. Let's be real, but.
Well, the lad he's fighting.
But he's putting a show on again, and it's. Would you rather see the fight? Would you rather see this fight than see him fight this guy than see him fight no one? I know what I'd do.
We just want to see the boxing. He's fighting someone 21-2, who lost to Anthony Durrell back in 23rd of February 2019. So he's been out for 1 year and 11 months. So he's been out for a long time.
I think against someone like Canelo.
You need to be a bit more active.
Like Canelo. So were you talking?
No, I was just saying you need to be a tiny bit more active. For
me, against someone like Canelo, you need to be active, you need to be sharp to match Canelo, and I just don't think that's sharp enough.
Exactly. A year and 11 months, that's a long time. That is long. Canelo last fought 19th of December 2020, where he beat Callum Smith in a convincing way. He was really good. Before that, he beat Kovalev up at... he won the light heavyweight title, he won the light middleweight title, he won the middleweight title, I think, didn't he? He's such a good fighter, and he's already the super middle. I rate him so highly. I think he's so good. And he moves up weights like Floyd used to be able to. But in this, I'm going to back him for the win. Your thoughts?
I'm going to go Floyd. No. Not saying as bad as Usyk Brazil. I'm going to go Canelo.
Exactly. I think, but it will be a good fight, and I can't wait for it.
What round are you thinking?
I think it'll be a TKO in round. I'll go 7. Why not?
I'll go TKO in round 6.
And also that Yildoran did lose to Chris Eubank Sr. back in 2017. Just started in Germany. He fights out of Germany. He's fought out of Germany 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 times. So he's away from that in America this time. So, anyway, we've got one more topic to talk about, and we can't wait for this one. It's Joseph Parker versus Junior Effia.
I don't know much about Effia. Parker, for me, is a good fighter. There's a lot of talk about him versus Alvarez Canelo, which could be the next fight. But that is regarding Joe Parker gets through the biggest fight in New Zealand's history.
Yep, that's what Eddie's building it up to be. Eddie literally
for me, I think Parker will get through it. I think he's a good fighter, Parker. I think he's beat some good names, Parker. Andy Ruiz, one of them. Whoever you fought in that fight, Parker
really decent name. He's just not quite at that top level with the Dillian Whites and Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, he obviously took. I might be completely wrong and look like an absolute fool, but didn't Parker have a belt?
Yeah. He lost the WBO heavyweight title against AJ.
Yeah, for me, that AJ fight, we didn't get to see Parker fully. We did. AJ put on a good boxing show, kept that distance, but I thought the ref was an absolute...
Yeah, he was definitely... I can't say it without sounding stupid, but you wouldn't, if you're a boxing fan, you understand what I mean when the ref is like... he doesn't want the fight to fight the other fighter style. He always wants it to keep. He wanted to keep it AJ style and
Yeah, he
get
wanted,
Parker
yeah,
fight, and that
wanted to
really
keep
did
it
irritate
clean and
me.
that, and it was just, it's, for me, when it's like that, I just think Parker's got a mountain to climb anyway, coming to England, to Wembley. No, was that Cardiff, wasn't it?
Cardiff, yeah, Principality Stadium.
Thought it was. Well, coming to Wales then.
Exactly, he's got to go to a foreign country and try.
He's got to go to the UK, which is not Joshua's country, but be full of Joshua's fans. He's got to win on the scorecards. If it goes up, it was just a mountain to climb. Yeah, the ref was still.
The ref could have let him fight a bit more, but
it was like a mountain to climb for Parker to get anything out of that.
But anyway, he's fighting someone 19-0. Now he hasn't beaten the biggest names. He's beaten a lot of New Zealand fighters. Last fight he hasn't fought since the 15th of November 2019. Just Parker's last fight was back in. Let me get the date. 29th of Feb 2020 when he beat Sean Del Winters. Oh, I remember that fight actually. He beat him by TKO on the 5th. But yeah, I actually watched that fight. That was just before lockdown, wasn't it? I think yeah, it was just before lockdown. That was almost a year ago now. So he's been out for a year. Junior been out for a year, 4 months, give or take. So I do look forward to this fight, the biggest fight in New Zealand's history. So should be a good scrap. I'm going to be backing Parker though, because I do rate Parker actually. I think he's good.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
I'm going to back Joe Parker. Not sure what round. I don't think it'll go the distance. I think he'll end it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Joe Parker 6'4", the other lad 6'5". On the reach, other lad's got 204 centimetres. Parker's got 193. So Parker's going to have to get up and close in this one.
Yeah. So I do think he'll get up and close, and I do think he'll force the knockout or the stoppage.
I think Parker mid-rounds for me.
Yeah.
I think it will be one I'm going to be tuning into if I can find out what the time is, because it's like New Zealand to English times. It's really difficult to work out, but I will be tuned in.
As long as it's not on Fight TV.
As long as it's not on Fight TV, it's on DAZN. So anyway, thank you all for watching this second episode. Hope you've all enjoyed it. I think it's gone really well again. Hopefully you do see this episode, because if you don't,
it'd be a good one next week. A lot to talk about.
Hopefully we might have a guest. You never
know. That might be a few weeks, whenever. We might not have anyone after to see that the shit we do talk.
Exactly. Maybe they do see what we do and then just say, I'm not talking to these idiots. But use us to Leah if you are still here. Comment. I want you to comment. Junior Effia is a legend. Alright? I want you to comment. Junior Effia is a legend if you're still here. So please do that. I want to see how many people. We're going to get 0 comments, and I know it.
Oh, we did have 1 comment last time?
No, I deleted it because it was some random spam. Got 0 comments, but I didn't ask this. Junior Effia is a legend. Thank you all for watching this episode. Use all legends. Drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.